Do you know it's impossible to believe in something or someone that you know? Did you know that?
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming around fire for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a coastline. Artificially.
I mean, it's like they look at the video and I want to be like the video, and so I don't know what that is about. I don't know.
Like the whole Sexyy Red thing. She was saying F her baby daddy while she was currently pregnant. Mm-hmm. And I kept thinking, I used to say on my show, I said, black relationships typically don't last past conception today. Like, by the time this man is
young. I would say more young than
young ones, yeah. But they hate each other. Like, it seems like they enjoy saying, me and my baby daddy don't get along. And they enjoy saying they got a baby daddy.
I hate that terminology. In fact, I don't even allow them to say that in court. I don't even allow them to say that in court.
Mm-hmm. It's negative, and it seems like where it's coming. And then I'll go back to the case, or another case, where there was a young lady, and I used to say that the internet a long time ago, and people have come back to me and said, you said this years ago. I used to say that what things are boiled down to, people wanted property and money. Now I say the property and money now is called DNA. Everybody wants DNA. It's in them. It's not the DNA that you think about. I said the D means vulgarity for D, penis, and attention. Like, these are the two things that run the world now. You see people putting stuff on the internet that you would never hear people saying. You would never hear them saying about themselves. Oh, I had 4 guys over and they had sex yesterday with me. Come watch my podcast. And be like, why would you tell this?
Yeah,
exactly. The degradation of that part, the humility is gone, as you stated. People are saying, I'm 400 pounds, hear me roar, or whatever it is. I got 9 kids by 10 baby daddy. Don't ask me how it can happen, but it can. But they're doing that. Where do you think the lack of shame and this everything's for the world came from? Because the fact that we can see the videos of these girls, 20 years old, talking about I slept with your man, across my Twitter timeline, I saw a girl put up a picture, and I'm not lying, a picture of a man between her legs. She tagged the other girl and said, why you talking about me? This where your man was last night. On Twitter. I think that the music is being
So we'll end the segment right there, ladies and gentlemen, as far as what they're talking about. It's a great conversation. If you're not following Mr. Tommy Sotomayor on X or Rumble, make sure you do so. He provides great content, great conversations, valuable show. I'll say that. It's entertainment. It's entertaining, but it also is thought-provoking. I will give him his props on that. And to the judge, I believe she's retired, but, shout outs and kudos to the judge for doing her thing. We know a lot of times on the TV show where we've seen her go above and beyond to actually ascertain, get information, and to help people. I don't know if you're familiar with Judge Ross, but she's a good woman, good person. Appreciate her for even having the conversation with Tommy. And I think in today's society, more conversations actually need to be had. And what I mean by conversations, right? Let's find the nuance. Let's understand what's right is wrong. Let's understand what's right and wrong. Not only in the right and wrong, remember what we ought to do. Remember grandma said, boy, you ought to go do that. And you ought not. Like, let's get back to the oughts. Let's get back to the things, like, let's not have the conversation of this is what I'm going to do. Take it or like it, take it or leave, no, let's actually, what should we do? What shouldn't we do? How should we do these different things? And I think that in today's society, and there's a few points that I want to go back that they were talking about that I think are very good points that we need to combat or circumvent, and or how do we navigate, which number one is, and this isn't primarily for women, but in the black culture, especially with our young youth, it seems that they always tend to realize that there's always something better, there is always more, and that they are deserving and worthy of it, and that they will get it regardless of how much effort, energy that they put into it. Like, for instance, in the instance of a woman, a lot of women will think that they're going to get, the 6'2" guy making, six figures, who's going to take care of them, more than likely their child or two from previous relationships. And he's going to provide everything. He's going to be a stand-up man where he'll punch somebody in the face for talking smack or disrespecting you, but he's also going to be in touch with his feelings and his emotional side. He's going to work, and make substantial and sustainable money. However, he's not going to be gone more than 40 hours a week, and he's going to bring home six figures, and he won't hesitate to help you with the chores and wash the dishes. But he's also going to keep the yard cut, keep the trees trimmed, and he's going to make sure the kids go to soccer practice and football practice and different things of that. But if the transgender or a little boy in a dress wants to play on the team with his daughter or your daughter, and you say that it's not a problem, then he's also going to not have a problem with it, because he's going to say that you are his partner, right? That's the type of man that you believe you're going to get. And here's the thing: you can be overweight. You could have the most brash or crass attitude that there is. You can be totally undeserving of this, but yet for whatever reason, you believe you will get it. He is out there, and I'm going to get it because all I have to do is just exist. We can look at a lot of these gentlemen who were just raised primarily by their single mothers. They don't have any skills. They don't know how to type. They can't read. They can't build. They don't know how to use tools. They don't provide anything of value, but yet when they go to the job, they think that they're going to be the supervisor. They think they're going to be the foreman. They believe that they're going to get hired and they're going to be one of the top guys making some of the top money at the job. You know why? Because I showed up. And I want to do this now. So I should be the top guy. And it's real. Listen, and people say, "DaChoosta, you're chauvinistic." And I'm not going to say I'm not. I'm not going to say that I am. I'm not going to say that I'm not either. But what I will say is this, when women can't control their emotions and have a hard time understanding certain things, well, it's not really okay in the sense of you have adults who have a hard time understanding things and will throw hissy fits and different things of that nature. However, the ramifications thereof are really not that serious. And I know a lot of people are not going to like that, but, the truth is the truth, and I'll break that down in a few other instances. But listen to me. Just keep on walking. We can't stop. Don't trip. Don't look back neither. So listen, when a young boy or a man can't control his emotions or doesn't know how to have good conflict resolution, well, the ramifications of that are extremely dangerous for anybody in the vicinity. For all people involved in society, it is very dangerous when a young man or a boy, specifically a boy going through adolescence or shortly thereafter puberty, cannot control his emotions. That is extremely dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. That is extremely dangerous. And now, going back to this, so why are the ramifications different? Because here's the thing. If I had 20 adult women who decided they wanted to get unruly and disrespectful, whether they use physical force or not, primarily, do you know 5 men could stop those 20 women? Realistically, I would even say 10 teenage boys, 13 through 16, could stop those 20 women. Now, you guys are going to say, "DaChoosta, I don't believe that. I don't know." Listen, I have a saying, and we're going to have to start utilizing another saying that I had, and I have to just bring it back. So hold on, Marty. We're going back to the future. What did I tell you guys? I said, your belief in the veracity. I said, your belief doesn't change the veracity, only your level of preparedness. Let me say it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it correct. Your belief doesn't change the veracity, only your level of preparedness. Now that's very simple on its surface level, but you know what? Why don't you do yourself a favor and put that into your Gronk, your Chat GPT, your AI, your Gemini, whatever you got, and have them break it down for you? Because yes, at very surface level, of course, what you believe does not change the truth. I don't know if you know, but veracity, or to be veracious, means truth or truthfulness. So your belief doesn't change the truth of it. And I think a lot of times in society, we believe that. We think because we think or believe something that means it's going to now change. If I tell you that this exists and you say, well, I don't believe that. So now do you think that because you don't believe it, it changed, that now what I just said isn't the truth? So imagine if I tell you, hey, don't go walk down the street because the dog is going to bite you. It's a loose dog and he's going to bite you in the booty. Don't go walk down the street. You say, I don't believe it. Does that change the fact that the dog is loose or not? Does that change the fact that the dog is biting people in the booty? But you don't believe it. And that's the point. So your belief doesn't change what's true, what is really there, only how much you're actually going to prepare for it. That's all it changes. And preparedness, we'll get into the whole preparedness thing in a minute, but this is the point that I want to get us to understand. Because why are we not preparing for the things that we believe? I was just having this conversation the other day, and I tell people all the time, because as Black people, a lot of us have a religious, I won't say we have religious undertones. Most of us don't really go to church, but a lot of us were brought up reading the Bible, understanding the Bible. We're familiar with the 10 Commandments, with Jesus. So we know about it, and that's a part of who we are. Whether we go to church and we condone the whole thing, a lot of it we know and we live by that, or we know we should be living that way, right? So when we're talking about do unto others as you would want others to do unto you, are we living our life that way? When they tell us faith without works is dead, are we putting in the work for what we believe in and have faith in? And then listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I don't want to confuse you guys too much. So understand that the Bible was translated and that a lot of the translations are loose translations, but we just got a general interpretation for us to understand the gist of it, right? But if you really want to get an exact interpretation, you're going to have to get concordance. You're going to have to get the tetragrammaton. You're going to have to get a few different things like that so you can actually break down a lot of these different words. But listen to the point that I want you guys to understand. When you have faith in something, so what is faith? If you understand from the biblical context, they're going to tell you faith is the evidence, is the substance of things hoped for, of the evidence of things not yet seen. The substance of things hoped for, of the evidence of things not yet seen. We'll break that down in a minute. But I want you guys to understand something. Do you know that so y'all doing some weird shit in today's society, and I don't understand. That's why y'all tricked. That's why y'all walking around here glitching and crashing out. It's impossible to believe in something or someone that you know. Did you know that? See, you don't know that. See, you didn't believe it. Your belief doesn't change the level of veracity, only your level of preparedness. So listen to what I'm trying to explain to you, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. I had this conversation with a gentleman the other day. We had to go to Laura's house, Laura's sister's house. Nobody was there. We went there anyway. We came back and he said, you know what, DaChoosta, you are right. I said, why do we have to go down there? But it's okay. Sometimes we just have to walk down those roads. So listen to me. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. And listen to the words that you use. So I believe, because what did I just tell you? If you believe in something, it's impossible to believe in something that you know. That's what I just told you. That's a correct statement. Listen to me now. So certain people believe in the tooth fairy, their children. I get it. Certain people believe in Santa Claus. Okay, we're still talking about children. How about this? Certain people believe that certain people will do certain things, but they may not. They could possibly, but they may not. So do you know that they're going to do it, or do you believe or think that they're going to do it? So the only way to know something is to know it. So now, even this, I could say as an adult, because we're talking about kids who believe in Santa Claus and different things like that. As an adult, I could say I believe in Jesus as an adult. And you could say, oh, well, you're still a kid. You believe in the sky daddy and different things like that. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you believe in your mom? Do you believe in your grandpa? Do you believe? No. Not do you believe in them as they will do something. Do you just believe in them? That they exist? Do you believe? No, oh no, you know they exist, right? You know they, because you see them. You know they exist. You don't believe in them existing. You don't believe in the concept of them. You know they exist. So it is impossible. Is it okay? So if I'm standing at the bus stop and I don't know what time the bus comes, I believe it's coming in 30 minutes. I believe it's coming. Matter of fact, the sign actually says it's coming at 10:02, but I'm looking down the street and it's 10 o'clock and I don't see a bus. I believe it's coming. The sign said it's coming, but do I know it's coming? But do I actually know that it's coming? No, I don't. So it is impossible. So I'm trying to tell you, you can't believe in things you know. And it's impossible. Because when you believe in something, it doesn't exist. That's why you believe in it. If it existed, you would know it. That's just the fundamental truth, ladies and gentlemen. See, they got y'all minds all manipulated and warped. And I'm not saying I got all the answers, ladies and gentlemen. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that I do have the answers that I am giving you. So now if you want to interpret that as having all the answers, well then, hopefully, I hope your life isn't that limited, because the things I talk about isn't everything. It's only a few things, right? So there's more to this than just the things that I talk about. But luckily, you should listen. Why is it that when somebody's now giving you the information, you're going to say, well, you think you know everything? One, we weren't talking about everything. We were just talking about some things and or a lot of things. But now, two, why are we challenging the person and thinking that they know everything or some things? Or are we actually looking at the information to say that this is correct and how could I incorporate this in my life? Do you see what we do, ladies and gentlemen? We're not actually, remember when grandma used to tell you at the end, I don't know, maybe your grandmother didn't read books to you when you were a little kid. My mother and my grandma and my grandpa, sometimes Pawpaw was working a lot, so he was tired. He didn't read books all the time, but he read them. But at the end of the story, they would say, okay, now, so what was the moral of this story? How come you guys didn't get what was the moral of the story? So now when I explain something to you, are you going to ask me, so what was the point of that? Or are you going to talk about something that's actually irrelevant or a moot point? Ex post factor. What you all say nowadays, adjacent to. Well, that's adjacent to what I was talking about. Okay, well, I guess make it a jar and shit. Let's talk. Let's go open it through, and let's talk about what I'm talking about. Shit, I don't know. Why do we have to use all these old ass words in new contexts? I hate this, ladies and gentlemen. This shit really infuriates me. We got old words that have proven definitive meanings, and now we want to use them in new contexts that don't apply. Why? Oh, because you never read a dictionary. You know what? And then you're going to tell me you did read a dictionary. And then when I say, okay, just to trick you, because I trick people sometimes just to see if they really know what they're talking about. And then I tell you, so when you was looking in the thesaurus, what did the thesaurus define this word as? And then you say, I don't know all the definitions, but when I read the thesaurus, it gave me all the definitions. I read it. And then I say, ha ha. Remember, look, I'm going to tell y'all the best joke in the world, notwithstanding, right? Here's the best joke ever. And you guys are going to say, Chusa, that's not the best joke. No, this is the best joke ever. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember this, but just really quickly. A guy goes into a restaurant. He says, what's the soup special? He says, the soup special is broccoli and cheese. He says, okay, I'll have the soup special. So the waiter brings him back the soup. And then he says, thank you, sir. I'll have a glass of water. And he comes back, and then when the waiter, he says, excuse me, sir, he tells the waiter, he says, sir, can you please taste the soup? And then the waiter says, well, sir, is there something wrong with the soup? He says, sir, just taste the soup. He says, sir, please tell me what's going on with the soup. He says, no, I just want you to taste the soup. He says, well, refund your money, X, Y, and Z. They go back and forth for a few minutes. So the patron explains to the guy, he says, listen, It's nothing wrong. It's just, everything is fine. Just do me a favor from me to you. Just taste the soup. And then the waiter says, okay, where's the spoon? Ha ha. Ha ha. Maybe you guys aren't old enough to get that. But anyway, that's the best joke ever in the world, ladies and gentlemen. You guys don't have to believe that, but I'm telling you, that is the best joke ever. Until somebody actually invents another joke that can stand the test of time in multiple cultures. You're going to say, Choosta, why is that the best joke? Because listen to me. You had more people from more cultures and more demographics telling that joke than any other joke in the world. In modern day, I mean, yeah, we got some old, cliches and proverbs and, riddles and different things like that. But in modern day times, that joke has been told by more cultures and demographics than any other joke. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how I know this. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I have a few other things that I want to do. And then I told you guys that the video, we're not going to do these too long anymore. We're going to not put video behind the paywall, but more than likely the audio will be behind the paywall. So if you don't have space shekels, listen, ladies and gentlemen, get the Engine wallet. You can, whatever you got, iOS, you got Android, just go to your Play Store. I should put a link in the description, a few different things like that, but it's ENJIN Engine. So it's spelt a little bit different, but get the Engine wallet, get you some crypto, make sure you become a subscriber, like and subscribe this video, this content, share it with friends and family, anybody you think content is relevant to. And then also be on the lookout for, we got some new merch coming out, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know if you guys know, and I hear this all the time, but we're going to coin some of our terms. And you guys know Space Jews have made some of the things that you guys say popular and relevant in today's mainstream society. And we've brought these things into your house. So we all know that we are living in the clown world. So my beautiful wife is putting some amazing merch. She got some tote bags together. And then listen, we got to save the environment, right? So she got some hemp bags. She got some cotton bags and different things like that. So when you go shopping, a few groceries, different things like that, you don't got to get plastic, different things like that. And then here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, they're made here in the United States of America. So regardless of what side you are on the side of the tariff war and the wage war with China and the United States, what I will implore you to do is hopefully buy and support American products and American goods produced and made here by Americans. So that's a whole nother conversation within itself. But we are living in a clown world, so I will put the link to her Shopify account, and you can look at some of the different things. And then you guys know we got our general merch, which is going to be the Me Personally shirt. So make sure you guys get those too. So there's just so much stuff. Mob James and I are actually working on the content every day as we speak. The graphics team and the editing team, they got to do what they got to do. Like I said, we got some delays and hiccups, but just know we're working, we're vigilant. But I'll tell you guys this: for the audio, or excuse me, for the video, it will be free. You'll get the segments on YouTube. There will be some stuff on Rumble and some subscription-based things on Rumble, but primarily the audio and the full extent audio clips. And then we're going to do live Q&As as well. So again, make sure you get the Engine wallet, you get Space Shekel. So therefore you can get behind, you can get the exclusive content, call in live for the Q&A and different things like that. As of now, my wife's Shopify is taking fiat currency, USDA and different things like that. But from what I was told, they're going to primarily switch to only accepting certain crypto, primarily Engine, Space Shekel. It'll probably be some Bitcoin and Ethereum up in there too, a few other things. But I know once it fully launches, they're not going to accept fiat currency. So if you want some good merch, good high quality products made by Americans, make sure you get an American crypto token. And then the Space Shekel, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk a little bit about that. It helps average everyday farmers. So your proceeds and the things you do are helping local farmers. We talk about the high prices of eggs and different things like that. We'll understand you making purchases with Space Shekels will help out local farmers and cooperatives in your region, bring local, affordable, high quality products to the everyday person. So look, I've said so much, but I haven't said enough. You guys probably too young to know about that. But anyway, look, I'm old, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're too young, a lot of these jokes you're not going to get, but it's okay. Your uncle will love it. So listen, I tell you guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share the content with friends, family, anybody that you think the content is relevant to. Remember, local elections are more important than national elections, but dollars are stronger than votes. They won't stop until we stop them. Liberation comes at a cost. Who's willing to pay for it?